Daddy.
Hi, Sam.
Hi, Chewie. Some.
I was waiting for some.
Me
So,
too.
Sam has 2 cards. I don't think either one of these will take us too long. We don't know when Mike's going to show up, so why don't we go ahead and do this so you can go to bed, okay? So hopefully you'll see Mike again real soon. So what's the background card for this first color, for this card?
It blue.
Okay. And what's going on here in this picture?
There's like a little metal thing in, like, the middle or something. And then there's like an octopus, and he's holding something.
What are some things he's holding?
Let's see. He's holding...
I can't really slide.
He's holding, like, a screwdriver. And beside his head, through the bar thing, there's like something blue or green. Fish. And then there's fish.
Okay. Are there numbers at the bottom?
Yeah. 1/3.
And is there anything at the top?
It's 2 raindrops.
Okay. So, do you guys know what this is?
No?
Dirk, do you know what this is?
No. Let's see. So 2 raindrop.
Yes.
Dirk's cheating.
Yeah, I'm so cheating. What was the power and toughness?
1-3. Wow. And can you read this line, Sam? Can you read that line there in the middle? What's it say?
Host creature octopus rigger.
Oh.
That way they don't have to cheat anymore.
I don't actually know.
Crafty octopus.
Yeah. She told you about the metal thing in the middle, so she likes it. All right.
Oh, wait a minute. Hang on.
Okay.
Hello, you are being recorded during a Sam quiz.
Oh, cool. Did I get it right?
You would have.
Oh.
Wow, he sounds really
Okay,
mechanical.
no, y'all restarted. All right, I was just letting you know I'm about to start heading back. I'll probably be there in about 20 minutes or so.
Okay, cool.
Oh, that'd be why he's on the phone. Okay.
Talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Yeah, you're definitely not going to be awake in 20 minutes.
Mike asked if he got it right.
Okay, so what's the background color for this next card?
Purple?
To be fair, that I don't know that's a really good question to ask. What's going on in this art?
There's like something with like some clothes on. It has like some claws, and it's holding like a yellow, purple, and orange gun, and bees are everywhere.
Okay, so that's a contraption.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's a contraption. It's, I want to say it's the B one.
Yeah, but I can't remember its name.
You'll put your eye
Be
out.
prepared.
No.
You'll put your eye out.
A BB gun.
Oh, there we go.
Don't tell me you've never seen A Christmas Story.
Oh. Get out of here, kid. You'll put your eye out.
Okay. All right. Well, that was it for our Sam quiz for today. So, Sam, yes, be good. So why don't you go ahead and say goodnight to the boys?
Good night.
Good night, Sam.
Good night, Sam.
All right. She's going to bed. I will be back in about 2 minutes.
I want to
Okay.
go to bed.
That's what my kids said.
That's
You know
what
where
I
they are
said.
right now?
In bed?
They're in bed.
Ow, jam! Hello again, and welcome to the... I almost did the Monday Night Magic intro. Look, I take a week off, I don't know what things are anymore. Hello again, and welcome to the Mana Pool. There it is. This is a miserably started episode 489 of the Mana Pool, brought to you, as always, by Mike's glorious beard.
Oh, hell the beard. You are welcome.
I hope everyone enjoyed the impromptu Sam quiz. So as you can tell, Mike has joined us, but no one cares about him just yet because I'm Chewie, the lead dork, and with me as always are some other dorks. Hi, dorks.
Hey, it's Brian. I'm the lead rambler, tangent master, and you still don't care about Mike quite yet.
That's your cue. Oh gosh,
Apparently, we still don't care.
Yeah, clearly I don't care one bit. I'm Mike. I'm the rules guy and the game lore guy, and yes, okay, I'll try to officially check into the podcast now.
Are you reading things on the internet?
No, I was just sitting here.
And you should be watching Supernatural.
That's not going to happen.
Well, I'm Dirk, the self-proclaimed greenest man alive and moral comps of the group, and I will stay checked in. Whether or not I will comment on everything is up for debate, but I am here.
All right, then. So, wow. Like I said, I take a week off, and I have no idea what's going on.
What's the next thing on the agenda list?
I accidentally burned the agenda list, even though it was on my computer screen. I managed to set it on fire. Sorry about that. So yes, hello, hi. Sorry, I would say sorry that there wasn't an episode last week, but I am not sorry in the slightest.
Sorry, not sorry?
Yeah, no, I'm not even that. Like, just straight up not sorry. I took a week off. I went to visit some friends. I recharged my batteries. A week away from work, believe it or not, actually showed me how much I loved my work. Believe it or not. So, after about 4 days of not creating content, I was like, I could record a video right now. Oh, and then I can edit it. And I was like, whoa.
That's a good vacation. Is a vacation where when you're done, you're ready to get back to work.
Yeah.
That's a good vacation.
Yes.
It's also a sign that I have not chosen poorly.
Yes. That says a lot about your vacation. It says more about what you do for your work. So.
Yay. So, I guess. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about, because it relates to the last episode, which was Unstable, is the reveal of the variants in Unstable, which so many people between Twitter and Facebook messages, and I think we even got an email, or maybe I got an email. I was like, are you guys going to talk about this? Yes.
I had my suspicions when I saw Secret Base in the initial card image gallery, and I'm like, why is the text written like that? And why is there only one of them?
Oh, because the first one, wasn't the first one shown the one about Sneak HQ?
Yes, it was. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I remember seeing that.
So I was like, there's probably more than one of these, and I thought that was really cool. But then, like, I saw the first card on this list, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. And the second one, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. And the third one, that's when the true depth of the insanity sank in.
See, when I saw Secret Base and it was just about Sneak HQ, I was like, oh, this must be a cycle of lands.
Mm-hmm.
And that's as far as my brain went. It never occurred to me that...
But that was the only one they showed.
Yeah, and I was like, I guess they'll show the others later. It never occurred to me that there was a cycle of this land.
And that they never actually showed the rest of them in the card image gallery.
So let's... I don't know how much detail we want to go into this, but this is fascinating. So we've had variants in the past.
Yep.
Mostly on purpose variants. And mostly just art. Like the Amateur Auteur.
Yeah.
Which is... It's just like the Fallen Empires variants. It's different art and different flavor text. But the card itself is the same.
Right. Exactly the same.
And
so there's one where they're performing a Ravnica themed play, another for Innistrad, another for Theros, and another for Zendikar.
Yeah, and that's great.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's right below that Beast in Show, which I remember when they showed it, I'm like, it's a 6/4 for 6 with trample. It's a normal common card.
Yeah.
Like what? I guess the art is cute.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's neat, but
Yeah, because it's just this lizard thing, with a pretty bow, and it's on a little pedestal like it's best in show.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, I mean, that's cute and all, but that seems kind of sad for an unset, even a filler card in an unset. There's just nothing here. Well,
Yeah. Same with the amateur auteur. It's just a normal Magic card otherwise.
yeah. The first time I saw an amateur auteur, it was on Twitter, and someone was like, "Isn't this just a card that we've seen before?" I was like, yeah.
Random Unicorn, Ronom Unicorn.
I think
Is
so.
that it? Maybe.
I don't know. But
Which
I guess
one?
the amateur auteur.
okay. Sorry.
Because it's a 2/2 for 2 that sacrifices itself to destroy an enchantment. That's easy.
Yeah, Ronom Unicorn.
Okay, yeah. And then Beast in Show is just a upgraded Crawl Worm.
Yeah, you have a Maya Worm.
We have a Maya Worm, thank you. But the joke comes in that there are 4 of them, each with different arts. And that's brilliant.
I like the one that looks like a cow.
He is he is adorable. And he's from Wild Speaker Ranch.
Yeah.
They are very nice looking animals.
Well, clearly they're all Beast in Show, so
Mhm.
you don't win Beast in Show just by being average, Mike. And then we get to the next card on this list, the Everything-a-Majig. And I'm not going to lie, I read the first one and I'm like, all right. And then I scrolled down and my brain broke, and I have yet to finish reading all of these.
Mm-hmm.
It's because there's so many things.
It's interesting because, like, I finally figured it out after reading the first, 3 of them. For every one of them, the activated ability is something from another existing card. Some of them but a lot of them normal bordered cards.
Really?
So the first Everything-a-Majig, it's Giant Fan, Dragon Blood, and I
can see the art.
Contagion Clasp.
There we go, yeah.
Yeah. The second Thingamajig, it's Fool's Tome, Tower of Life Gain, whatever that is.
Yeah, the white aligned one, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then Spatula of the Ages, if I'm remembering that one correctly.
Really?
Mm-hmm. The third one is Mana Screw, Disrupting Scepter, and Chimeric Staff.
Oh my god.
Yeah. The fourth one is, the first ability could be anything. Tap to add 1 mana of any color.
Yeah.
There's plenty of cards that do that. The second ability is My First Tome, and the last one is Tower of Kill That Thing.
Yeah, Tower of Damage, the red one, yeah.
Yeah, Tower of Damage, yeah.
Or the red aligned one.
Yeah. The fifth Everything-a-Majig.
These towers, by the way, are from what? Original Ravnica, or were they the next set?
No, original Mirrodin.
Mirrodin, sorry.
And then Tower of Damage was in Scars of Mirrodin.
Yeah.
Tower of, what the hell is that tower?
I don't remember what any of the towers are called, except for Fortunes, the card draw one.
Yeah, that was easy. I think Tower of Eons was Life. Tower of Champions was Pump.
The Pump.
Tower of Whispers was the Mill one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then Tower of Damage.
Tower of Damage, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so the fifth Everything-a-Majig is Zurin Orb, Ashnod's Altar, and Urza's Hot Tub.
Oh my god, it is!
Yeah, and the last Everything-a-Majig is Crystal Ball, one of the many abilities on Trading Post, is the second ability, and Mirror Universe. No, Mirror, sorry. Yeah, that's Mirror.
Oh, it is? Wow.
Yeah.
And a thing that I didn't notice that Bill and Clues pointed out to me, did you notice the mana costs on these cards are different?
Oh, and not on Everything-a-Majig. Most of them are 5, but some of them are different. Yeah, one's 6 and one's 8. You're right. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Tower of Calamities.
Calamities.
There you go.
That's actually from Scars of... Yeah, it's from Scars of Mirrodin.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So, yeah. The Everything-a-Majig is... I did not realize they were all abilities from other cards. That's great. Mm-hmm. That makes the name even better, too.
Yes, it does.
Wow.
So is there something on the card that says this is this variant and this is another variant?
It doesn't look like it.
Looks like you just kind of have to know.
Yeah, I would have expected to be like the collector number to be 147A, 147B, something like that. But no,
Yeah.
I wonder if they didn't want to give it away in the previews.
Maybe.
Would be my
I mean,
guess.
they could have altered the previews, though.
Yeah.
That's true. They could have edited the art asset before putting it up.
Yeah. That leads me to another problem that Clues has with these that I didn't have until Clues pointed it out. These variants aren't in Gatherer.
Mm-hmm.
That's lame.
And that's an actual problem for me.
Well, maybe there's something that they're going to do later to sync them up. Because I think I also read something saying that, okay, soon we're actually going to update the text for Unglued and Unhinged to be more in line with modern day Magic card text. In Gatherer. So, I know there have been times before when we've started reading something from Unglued and we have to kind of start translating it into modern text as we're reading it for it to make sense.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I just realized I can see things like a crystal ball and spatula of the ages and a couple of other things in the art on everything of a jig.
Yeah,
I wonder if they're all there.
I was wondering that myself, if we could, find... Hang on. Everything jig. Images. That's just a picture of the card that's been blown up slightly. How about this one? Oh, wait, here we go. View image. Copy, paste. It's in the show notes for you viewers. Here is...
Oh, someone even annotated it.
Yeah, here is an annotated thing that looks at possibly all at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17. That's not all of them. Because there are
6
18.
times 3 is 18.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's missing one. Good job. Thanks, guy.
Huh, that's awkward. But hey, Oh, look in the dead center up at the top.
Oh, is that... What is that?
I don't know. Is it a Mox Diamond?
I was about to say, it looks like one of the Mox Diamonds or something. One of the...
I guess.
Yeah.
Because that would be the tap for any color of mana.
Yeah, it has to be. It doesn't look like... I see the Stronghold Mox Diamond in my head, but I don't know what the other variants for Mox Diamond look like.
It's just
but
the
that's
From
probably
the
what
Vault
this...
one. No, that's not it either. Well, crap.
Oh, well.
That could be what they were going for. Who knows?
Yeah, probably. I mean, if anything is the Make a Mana, that one is. Cool.
But anyway, so well spotted Mike and well spotted random Reddit person, whoever did this. That's awesome. Wow, I can stare at this for hours. Okay, let me close this. So that leads us to, I think, my favorite of these variants, the extremely slow zombie.
Yeah, this is a great application of the joke.
This is awesome.
When I saw the first one, which is the only one they showed, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. It's so slow that it couldn't even finish the flavor text. It's because we know he's saying brains. He's a zombie.
Yeah.
But then...
And it's summertime. Kind of, sort of.
Yeah, when all the trees and leaves are green and the red bird sings, I'll be blue, because you don't want my love. That's an obscure joke. So yeah. And then we have the second art, which is fall.
And he's moved a little closer.
Just a little closer, yeah.
And decomposed a little more.
Yep. And the flavor text is...
And then in C, it's wintertime, and there's a little birdie sitting on him, and there's someone's put a festive holiday hat on him, and his arm has come up a slight bit more, which I didn't notice until the guys pointed it out to me, that his arm is slowly moving up to reach out to you as the seasons progress.
And his belly is rotted away, and his intestines are spilling out a bit.
Like you do.
Yeah.
And the flavor text is in. And then in the fourth one, it's springtime. And his arm is all the way up, and his hand has fallen off, and there's a bird that's made a nest and laid eggs in his mouth.
Moss is growing on his body.
Yeah. Like Prilliman, he's mossy. And the flavor text finishes with like it's so great.
And an exclamation point.
Wow. All right, so let us move on. We've got the Garbage Elemental next.
Which is interesting.
Oh, these are so great. So these
Yeah.
all have one ability that is an unability.
Yep.
And one ability, an old unability, like from a previous unset, and one ability that is, well, not to put too fine a point on it, garbage. It's
Well, for one of them, the unability has to do with contraption, so it's new, but it's still an unability.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Mhm.
But they're abilities that are,
Not so great.
Yeah, not so great, and probably won't be coming back.
Yeah. I mean, they're not all terrible.
Well,
Like,
yeah, except for one. Garbage Elemental B is really awesome.
has Undying, and Undying is great, but
That's a
it's
good
also
point.
an ability that we don't know that will come back. So,
Mm.
and
Yeah,
Cascade is
I
awesome
gotta-
too on D. Cascade is awesome. Go ahead, Mike.
Cascade is awesome. Yeah, I had a Garbage Elemental B in my deck during the draft I did, and it was amazing.
I
Because
believe
it
it.
enters a battle ability. When it enters, it assembles a contraption. Then it has Undying. So when it dies, if it didn't have a counter, it comes back with a +1/+1 counter.
And assembles another contraption.
Yeah.
And I like that all of these have the same mana cost, but different power and toughness
Yeah. Having the same mana cost helps.
to fit with their abilities. Like the 2/4 has Frenzy 2 and can't be blocked by wordy creatures.
hmm
But because it's got Frenzy 2, I guess being a 4/2 is... I mean, a 2/4, which then attacks into a 4/4 is fine, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so B is the Undying and Assemble a Contraption that Mike pointed out. The 3/2 has Battle Cry, and when it enters the battlefield, you roll 2 6-sided dice and get that many... Oh, no, you get a number of goblins equal to the difference.
Yeah. So its Battle Cry can pump the goblin tokens it makes.
Exactly. Yeah, I think they actually all work together pretty well.
Oh, yeah, they are.
D is a 3/3 with Cascade. Mind you, these all cost 4 and a red, so Cascade for 4 or less. And when it enters the battlefield, you roll a 6-sided die and deal damage equal to the result to target opponent. So you get a 3/3 and a free something else and some amount of damage 1 to 6.
So I'm starting to think they're tricking us with the name Garbage Elemental.
Yeah, these are all actually pretty good thus far. E is a 4/3 that has Unleash. You remember Unleash?
Yeah, it's
Yep.
awesome.
Yeah,
From
you can,
Return to Ravnica.
yeah. This was Rakdos, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can have it enter with a +1/+1 counter, and if you do, it can't block, as long as it has a +1/+1 counter. Wait, the way that's written, if you don't unleash a creature and it gets a +1/+1 counter, can it still block later?
No.
Okay, got it.
It's written that way to avoid memory problems.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it has Unleash, and each creature you control with any kind of counter has Art Menace, which means they can't be blocked except by creatures with 2 or more visible figures in their art. Wow, that's really good.
Yeah.
A 5-mana 5/4 with Art Menace seems alright, yeah. And then F is it still costs 5, but it's a 6/5. And here's why: it has Last Strike. Aww.
Last Strike is a pretty huge drawback.
But it also has Battalion. When it and at least 2 other creatures attack, target creature can't block this turn.
Which isn't too bad. So,
Yeah. So yeah, it's called Garbage Elemental, but those are actually all solidly decent creatures.
and Last Strike at least is a little offset by the biggest toughness of all these garbage elements. So,
That's true. It does have the biggest butt.
Mhm. And here's these variants are demonstrating another thing that normal Magic won't and actually can't do. One really, really crucial thing with the way Magic works and the way it's designed is that every card with the same name has to be functionally identical.
Right.
Exactly functionally identical. So any card in normal Magic, any card printed with a given name has to have the same abilities as any other. The same mana cost, the same power touches, if relevant, the same types, whatever. And that's why normal Magic doesn't do effects based on things that can actually change from printing to printing of a card, like artist, watermark, collector number, border, things like that.
Rarity,
yes.
Yeah.
Expansion symbol. That's why normal Magic doesn't do that, because those things can vary from printing to printing of a card. But Unmagic can.
Huh.
Because it's something that's easy for two people sitting at the table to process, but the rules of the game don't really allow for that to work.
That is a good point. Hang on. So I put up the YouTube version of Monday Night Magic today, and I just got a YouTube comment on it. That's what I mean. The YouTube version. I said that. I got a YouTube comment on it from Nathan, who says, Unstable apparently has a stable of unstable cards, having variants that are completely different. And he's having a conversation, because Nathan likes to put these things in comments. He's having a conversation with the 8-cost thingamajig. And the 8 one is like, hey, look at me, I cost way more than the other versions. Nate goes, okay. He's like, so I can be tapped to draw a card, or for 1 life I can make a goat. Nate's like, I'm not seeing why you're so special. He's like, oh, and for 7 mana I can make your opponent switch everything with you. Okay, that sounds weird. And then Captain Ginyu jumps in and goes, change now! And he's like, holy cow, you swap bodies with someone like your Captain Ginyu. Now I feel the need to make a Ginyu Force themed deck. I love you, 8 mana everything I'm a jig. Nice. Okay, anyway, let's go back to the variants. Nope. Here we go. Okay, so next up is the Ineffable Blessing. And these are really cool.
Yeah.
So these all have a choice involved.
Yeah. We already talked about the one that was variant A.
Yeah, flavorful or bland.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
hallowed be this assemblage of various stuff.
I love the flavor text on these.
And all of these also happen to care about things that all of these Ineffable Blessings care about things that normal Magic can't care about, for the reasons we were just talking about.
And all of them let you, when you boil it down, they all let you draw a card when you get a creature that fulfills what you've chosen.
Yes.
Oh, they do? Oh,
Yeah.
They do.
So they're very consistent. It's changing what the parameters are.
They are very consistent in their inconsistency. He is correct. So, yeah, the first one is flavorful or bland. The second one is choose an artist. And when your creature has art by the chosen artist, you draw a card.
Hallowed be this assortment of diverse things.
What was the first one? Assemblage of various stuff. Got it. The third one is, wow, you choose white bordered or silver bordered. And whenever a creature with the chosen border enters the battlefield under your control, you draw a card. Wow, white or silver. That's odd.
Yeah. My first round opponent dropped this on turn 2, and I lost really bad.
Oh!
Yeah. Hallowed be this compilation of mixed objects.
Did he pick silver?
He picked silver.
Okay, that's rough. D is when it enters the battlefield, you choose a rarity. And whenever you get a creature with the chosen rarity, you draw a card.
Mm-hmm.
That will be this collection of miscellaneous items.
E is choose odd or even. And whenever a creature with a collector number of the chosen value shows up, you draw a card.
Oh, keeping track of this is going to be fun. It would be so much fun.
Hallowed be this gathering of eclectic products. Couldn't even freaking say that. Eclectic products.
It's because you're enunciating too much. It's eclectic products.
Yes, actually it was.
Yeah. If you just, it's eclectic products. You see it just roll right out. And then F, when it enters the battlefield, choose a number. Wait, I haven't read this one. Whenever a creature with exactly the chosen number of words in its name enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. Hyphenated words are one word. That's good to know.
Yeah.
I think 2 is going to be a good option a lot of times.
I was just thinking that. Yeah.
Hallowed be this potpourri of sundry goods. Potpourri.
So again, what was because these are different but they have the same name, you can only have 4 of them. Correct?
That's true. Yeah. The rule, if you were constructing a deck, the rule is based on cards with the same name. That's right.
Oh, dude. So that takes us to the next card, where you could have freaking 16. Not that you'd want to, but you could. So the next one are the Killbots.
One more thing. The reason the last ineffable blessing can't be regular magic is because different language printings of a different card will have different numbers of words in the name.
Yep.
So they wouldn't function the same way.
So that means you could not have every single one of the ineffable blessings in your deck.
Right.
Correct.
There's too many.
Which is a trip. So the next one are the Killbots. And I remember when we saw, I forget her name.
Was it Mario Kill?
Yes. Hang on. Hotfix. Where? There she is. Mario Kill. Yeah. Where you can switch a Killbot or Mario Kill in your hand with one on the battlefield. And they showed a Killbot, and I was like, oh. And I think it was the Curious one.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, it's a 2/1 artifact creature for 2. That's it. I wonder if there will be more Killbots for her to swap with. Well, sort of.
Whirl,
Apparently
beep,
not.
click, click.
So this one changes just the flavor text and the name, but everything else on the card is the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The art
Even the
is
collector
same.
number.
Even the collector numbers are the same. So we've got Curious.
This is gonna make the game of identify what the card is by the flavor text much harder. Was it click click beep whir or whir beep click click?
To be fair, if
Well,
the
if you're
person
delighted.
if the person reading the flavor text reads it properly, it should be easy.
Yeah. Delighted
right
Killbot is
inflection.
click, click, whirl, beep.
See? And the Despondent Killbot is click, click, beep, whir. See, it's Despondent. It's easy.
Yeah.
And the enraged one is click, whir, beep, click.
So yeah, they're Curious, Delighted, Despondent, and Enraged, which really reminds me of an old Garfield joke where it was, the many emotions of Garfield, and it was the same picture with different descriptions. That really made me happy when I was a kid.
I know. I remember what you're talking about.
So then, whoops, hang on. Okay, then we have the Knight of the Kitchen Sink, and these are actually really cool. But I talked about these already. So hey, someone else take these.
So all of them are a 2/2 with first strike for white, and but they each have a different protection ability added onto that. So variant A has protection from black borders. That's the one we'd seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Variant B has protection from even collector numbers, which can be really surprising in the middle of a game. Variant C has protection from loose lips, and the reminder text here is nothing with an open mouth in its artwork can block, target, deal damage to, or attach to this creature.
Okay, so the third zombie that has a thing in its mouth, does that count as open or closed?
That's open.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it counts as
Yeah.
open. Variant D has protection from odd collector numbers. It's always useful. Cover all your bases there. Variant E has protection from 2-word names.
Oh.
And like Brian was saying, 2-word names are really common.
Yeah.
Yeah. And variant F has protection from watermarks.
Shoo.
Which in this set is a lot.
Yeah,
in
that's
every-
the thing.
In every flavor text, he says, "Woo." For a minute, I thought I'd forgotten and then a different appliance. The garlic press, the gravy boat, the juicer, the melon baller, the olive forks, or the tea cozy.
Not the tea cozy.
This is the night of the kitchen sink, so they're all food items.
Mm-hmm.
Kitchen sink.
I love all of these.
Yeah.
And the fact that we're not even done yet, the fact that they have managed to change up so many different things in the different versions of each card. Like it's either the art and the flavor text, or it's just the mana cost and the abilities, or it's the mana cost and the power and the power and toughness and the abilities, but the mana costs are all the same. It's just so cool. Or the name and the flavor text and leave everything else the same. It's so cool that they're totally doing all of the crazy stuff that, like Mike keeps pointing out, you can't do. Now, this next one is totally a thing that they could do. And hey, there are 4 of us, so I think we should actually read this. So this is the Novella Mental, which again, the first time I saw it, I was like, I mean, that's cute, but it's not really like unlevels of funny. Well, it turns out that wasn't the whole joke. So let's see. Hey, Mike, we'll do this. We'll do this by letter of first name, and since there's no M, you get to go first.
Okay.
A B C D. Get it? You're M, so it's M B C D, which means Brian, then me, then Dirk. This is not hard.
What?
Look. It's variant A, then B, then C, then D. That's
I understand. Got it.
Oh, I thought he meant alphabetical order, but
oh my god!
I'm like,
wow.
Chewie,
It's okay, Chewie. I understood what you meant.
Thank you, Dirk.
How appropriate for an unset.
So all of these are called Novella Mental. They cost 1 and a right. Yeah, they cost 1 and a blue. They're a 2/1 flying elemental that can block only creatures with flying. Nice and simple.
Yeah, and they have the same art.
But the flavor text
variants. So, here we go. My grandmother had sold the rest of her jewelry long ago, but she left a particular necklace in my care, a golden chain bearing a raven-shaped charm.
This pendant was my grandmother's legacy. I sought solitude among the trees as moonlight danced on their branches, her gift safe in my hand.
The chain fit my neck perfectly, but my heart fluttered with chills as the cool metal came to rest against my chest. I closed the clasp and waited, silent.
My heart filled with warmth, and I felt my feet lift from the ground. Suddenly I was free, free to soar, the homes beneath me shrinking to specks on a map.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
As just a little 4-sentence story to be spread across 4 magic cards. That's really nice.
Yeah. It's not bad.
So then we have the aforementioned secret base, which there are 5 of these.
One for each watermark.
Yeah, 1 for each of the factions.
Which, when they spoiled the first one, it was actually, I think, B, because I think it was the sneak headquarters.
Yeah.
And I read, spend this, its first ability on all of them is add a colorless, and the second ability is add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Spend this mana only to cast a spell that shares a watermark with secret base. I honestly thought it was worded that way so that if there's a card that allows you to maybe change a watermark.
Yeah, but I couldn't find any.
Oh, I thought there was.
Was there one?
But at the time that they spoiled, this was one of the first spoiled, I thought, okay, it's got to be in there. It didn't, to me, say, oh, there must be other versions of this. Because, honestly, I didn't see this coming. But now we know, oh, because there's 5 versions of this, well, yeah. Because it's basically allowing you to play it with those cards that share the watermark with it, not necessarily change this one's watermark. Cool. And they're not legendary.
Yeah.
Oh, there's I was thinking of Phoebe, head of Sneak, who steals text boxes including watermarks.
Okay.
But yeah, there isn't one that changes a watermark. I guess because that would, even for an unset, that would be too hard to keep track of.
Yeah, that'd be really difficult to remember.
So yeah, then we have the Sly Spy.
You didn't want to go through the flavor text for the secret bases?
Oh, I guess we can if you want to.
Yeah.
The Order of the Widget doesn't believe in traveling light. Wait, is that a giant base on massive tank treads?
Yes, it's a fortress on wheels.
That's great. Okay, next.
The location of Sneak HQ is a closely guarded secret.
Is that a sign that says secret hideout?
Yes, it is.
Jesus.
Yeah, part of the thing with the agents of Sneak is that they're actually kind of really crummy spies.
Yeah.
Like they're the way that they don't know what's going on. It's not like the Demir where there's so many levels of secretive hierarchy that none of the lackeys know what the real plans are. It's just that no one has any idea what is going on.
In the story that Mark Rosewater put out, the little story article where it's these little kids in like a social studies class and they're doing reports about their government. The girl that was assigned to the agents of Sneak said, A, it was very easy to find their base, and B, it seemed like all the agents were trying to figure out what is the overall mission, what were they supposed to be working toward, but none of them trust each other. So several of them suspected that she was an agent herself and wanted to know, so what is this all for? And she's like, I'm really just a student. So, but it's funny to me that they're all like, okay, this has got to be for some grand plan, but no one knows what is. And like I said, it's not the Demir where there actually is one. No, it just
that requires too much thought.
Lord,
is that the organization where the person that's in charge of it is just the one that's basically holding the stick of truth, and so everybody keeps hiring the same guy to steal it from the next guy?
I think,
I think that's it, yeah. Okay.
next.
No headquarters here.
Well, the League of Dastardly Doom takes the word headquarters very seriously because it's on a frickin' volcano.
It reminds me a lot of the
with a big freaky face carved into the side.
It reminds me of Dr. Evil's base in the second Austin Powers, where it's the secret volcano lair.
So there's lava coming out of the mouth, and the mouth is in a surprise, like, oh, face, and there's lava coming out of the eye. And there is this base thing that's popped out of the head, which looks like it has a shield around it.
It also looks like a giant brain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
I still like the face in the mountain looks like it's, shocked at what's going on.
I mean,
with lava coming out of the eye.
Okay, next.
So the next one is for the Goblin Explosioneers, and it's basically a hole in the ground. And the flavor text is, for the Goblin Explosioneers, there's no crater like home. Oh.
But there's also holes in the mountain, too.
Yeah.
Like the mountain has been blown up and is now Swiss cheese.
And there are other mountains around it, where there's the whole range looks like it's just been subjected to experimentation by Boom.
We made a new explosive. We just wanted to try it out.
I'm kind of
disappointed. Blowing holes in the mountain.
I'm kind of disappointed that they don't have like an effigy of a giant hammer, because they seem to regard hammers as sacrosanct.
Oh, yeah.
It's possible that they went for that and just ended up blowing it up by accident.
Lord. And then the last one is, warning, do not feed the rhinopus. Crossbreed Labs Campus Advisory. And this is nice.
Yeah.
Because there are creatures everywhere in the art.
Mm-hmm.
Including a big elephant thing on top of a tree. And some sort of giant fish dog. And an iguana bird. Wow, if we could get like a big version of this art, I bet there's all kinds of little nifty things down there.
Oh, yeah.
I agree.
That is awesome.
Nice. Okay, then. So then we have the Sly Spy.
Yeah.
Okay,
This one's weird.
These are all
Yeah.
2/2s for 2 and a black.
I saw a lot of different variants of these at the draft in the games I played and the ones I could see from where I was sitting.
Oh,
Well,
nice.
It isn't uncommon, but still.
So they all have when Sly Spy deals combat damage to a player, thing happens. And okay, so let's run through those real quick. There's that player reveals his or her hand, and you choose a card from it with the longest name, and they discard it.
The Agents of Sneak, Serious, Nonstop, Espionage, and Kidnapping.
So that's what that stands for.
Yeah.
Well,
And then B is when it deals combat damage to a player, you may destroy target creature facing left in its art. Creatures without faces don't face anywhere.
the Agents of Sneak, silent ninjas, evading any capture.
Oh, so that's what that stands for.
Well,
Okay, and then C is deals combat damage to a player. That player loses a finger until Sly Spy leaves the battlefield. The finger is chosen by its owner and can't roll dice or touch cards. Oh, okay, that's a lot less severe. I was about to say, jeez!
Break out the cleaver.
the Agents
Until it
of
leaves
Sneak.
the,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, until it leaves the battlefield.
Yeah, then you have to sew it back on. So.
The Agents of Sneak, Sinister Nerds, Eliminating All Knowledge.
That's what that stands for.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Sinister Nerds. I like that one. So
And
then D.
The D one is Sly Spy. Whenever Sly Spy deals combat damage to a player, you may destroy target creature facing right in its art. Creatures without faces don't face anywhere.
and notice that now it's facing to the right itself.
Yeah, the art has been mirrored on this variant.
The Agents of Sneak, skilled, notably efficient assassin kickers.
Oh.
Well,
Okay.
That's what that one stands for.
I've never needed to hire an assassin kicker, but now I know where to go.
Well, when you pay the assassin, if you pay it a little extra, it has an additional effect.
Oh God. Okay, so variant E is deals combat damage to a player. That player reveals the top card of his or her library. Put that card into your hand, and you lose life equal to its converted mana cost. Wow.
Yeah,
The Agents of Sneak. Spies, nimbly eluding adventurers' knives.
Adversaries.
Adversaries' knives.
Huh. Is that what that stands for?
Well,
So what were we
I had
about to
this one
say
in my
about this
deck.
Ah.
I had this one in my deck. I took 5 a couple times. Kind of hurt.
Was it worth
Greatness
it?
at any cost, Mike.
Yeah, really, Mike. Jeez. And then variant F is deals combat damage to a player. Roll a 6-sided die. That player loses life equal to the result.
That one's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's the Agents of Sneak. Subpar, notoriously evil agent killers.
Oh, is that what that stands for?
Huh. Subpar. That's not the sort of thing you'd want to advertise.
Well, that's why they abbreviate it.
Oh. Oh, I love this. All right, only 2 more. We've got everyone's favorite target Minotaur.
Poor guy.
I love this guy.
I thought this was funny even without the variants when I had just seen the first one.
Yeah, variant A is the first one we saw where he's all frozen solid.
Yeah, so he's a for 1 and a red, he's a 2/1 Minotaur warrior with prowess, and that stays consistent through all of these.
Mhm. And the flavor text, not again.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't there something similar to target Minotaur in Unhinged?
I don't remember.
Maybe? I don't know. I thought this was a joke that was a follow-up for some reason. But I don't know why I think that because I never actually played Unhinged.
It could be, but I'm blanking on what that might be.
Okay. I could be making that up. My bad. So yeah, in the first one he's been frozen. And so he's got parts of him encased in ice, and there are little birds just on him. Oh, look at the birds. What's going on? Is this like acid rain, molten rain, blood rain?
Something like that, or it's like raining blood or something, yeah.
I mean, obviously it's being subjected to all of these test spells by an uncaring wizard. So this is like,
at least they gave him a little umbrella, even though that umbrella is, smoking and melting.
Yeah.
In the third one,
he gets no such umbrella in the third one.
I don't know if umbrellas would do much good against, fireballs raining from the sky. Oh, poor guy. And then in D, which is clearly... Oh, wait a minute. Are these different? These aren't different colors.
There's only
No, I was just looking at that because there's only 4 of them.
Well,
so.
yeah, but there's also like 2 red ones. Well, I guess that could be black.
It could be.
So
B
we've
could be
got
black.
like A is blue, and B is black, and C is red, and then D is green,
Yeah.
where he's got vines that have grown up out of the ground and grabbed him. And he looks pissed. I guess white doesn't need to bother targeting a Minotaur. Yeah, let's go with that. So, okay, then we get to the good one. And this is the main one. So all of these, I keep saying that, I read them and I'm like, oh, well, that's not even that funny. But Very Cryptic Command is the one that I really didn't get. Because I think it was Variant B was the first one we saw.
Yes.
So all of the Very Cryptic Commands cost 1 blue, blue, blue. They're an instant, and they have 4 abilities on them, and they say choose 2. And, like I said, I think it was Variant B. So Variant B says, choose 2. Untap 2 target permanents. Tap each permanent target player controls with exactly 1 word in its name. Discard all the cards in your hand, then draw that many cards. Return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. I read that and I'm like, other than the 1 word in its name, that's just a normal Magic card.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not even funny. And I looked at maybe the joke's in the art. No, it's just like a more different Cryptic Command art.
Yeah, I remember people doing like previews or reviews of it at the time. Were like, this is actually a pretty good card on the surface. You could do this, and that with it.
Yeah. And it is. Like, it's just a good card.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, maybe with the modern design philosophies and whatnot behind Unstable, they didn't feel the need to go really silly on this one. Huh. Interesting that they would take something as iconic as Cryptic Command and just do a straight variation on it. That's so cool. I don't get it, though. Well, again, turns out the joke is on me. So we have 6 variants of Very Cryptic Command, each with 4 abilities that say choose 2, and one of them has different art, and that is very touching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I read about that yesterday. Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah, I read about it today, but it was an article from either yesterday or the day before, I think. Very Cryptic Command version A, its art is a pencil drawing by Wayne England. And all the others are this finished art by Zoltan Boros. And on Monday Night Magic, we were like, I don't get it. Well, that's because that article hadn't been released yet.
Mm-hmm.
So variant A says, choose 2, switch target creature's power and toughness until end of turn. Okay. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. All right. Draw a card. If that card's art is by Wayne England, you may reveal it and draw another card. Nice. And its final ability is assemble a contraption. And like I said, it has pencil art by Wayne England. And it turns out, this is very sad, Wayne England actually died before he could finish the art. And as a tribute to him and what all the art he's done for Magic, what they decided to do was just use it as is.
Mm-hmm.
And then they put a tribute to him on the in the actual card text. And that's awesome.
Yeah. I didn't actually know that, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was kind of wondering, why is the one different? But
Yeah.
And that's why. Because didn't he do the original?
Yes, he did. He did the
Okay.
original cryptic command.
I thought so. Let me look at the original cryptic command real quick. Images. Nope. Where's this one? Yeah, it's just the jar with that weird symbol coming out of it, and then this one they've added a goblin.
Yeah, drinking directly from the jar.
Oh yeah, in his art, yeah. There's a goblin that's picked it up and is chugging it. And then in all the others, Zoltan Boris has the goblin knocking it over.
Yeah.
Which results in the art from original cryptic command.
Bursting out of the jar and rushing off to do random effects.
So that's A and B. Why don't you guys read the rest?
All right. Variant C has draw a card from an opponent's library.
Oh, Ryan's favorite.
Yay! Can I
Copy
just
target.
cast this over and over again?
Yeah. Copy target instant or sorcery spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. Until end of turn, target creature loses all abilities and becomes a blue frog with base power and toughness 1/1. Create a 1/1 colorless gnome artifact creature token.
Yeah, this is objectively the best one.
Also, that's a really good card.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
It's got a fork effect, a humble
card draw.
effect,
Yeah.
an uncard draw, and make a 1/1.
Yeah.
Like any two of those together seems pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. How about
Nice.
wait,
With
what
a
was
D
that?
variant.
Yeah.
So draw 2. Return target permanent to its controller's hand.
Uh-huh.
Draw
It's
2 cards.
controller's
Oh, it's
hand,
controller's
not its owner's.
hand.
There's something very about this card after all.
Huh.
Draw 2 cards, then discard a card. Change the target of target spell with a single target. Turn over target non-token creature.
Turn over is such a weird phrase to see on a card.
I guess
So-
because it can either switch from face up to face down or vice versa, or it can switch from front face to back face.
Yeah. So you could have a card turning into a morph creature flipping over, a card with transform suddenly on the other side. It's weird. Manifest. All right. So E. Is this the wordiest one? I feel like this might be the wordiest one. I mean, look at how tiny
Might
this
be.
print is.
Yeah.
All right. First option, counter target black bordered spell. Ooh. Second option, return target creature to its owner's hand. Third option, untap each permanent you control with a watermark.
Ooh.
Yeah, seems pretty good. And then fourth option, roll 2 6-sided dice. Target player puts the top X cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard, where X is the total of those results.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
This makes me want to find out how many lands I have that have watermarks on them. And no, spilling Coke on them does not count. But
Aw.
it's
And then F is choose to scry 3.
3 is a big number for
You're
Scry.
right?
At instant speed.
Especially at instant speed. Create a 2/2 black rogue creature token with menace. Seems good. Add or subtract 1 from a number or number word on a target spell or permanent until end of turn. Oh no. No. Okay, I'm good. And then return all artifacts target player controls to their owner's hands.
I feel like this is the one that anytime anyone does anything while this is in your hand and you can cast it, you're just going to say, wait. Because you've got to look at that third ability and read like their whole card 3 times to see if that's anything you want to do. And then you're like, okay, no. So they're like, all right, now I cast something else. And you're like, okay, hold on a sec.
Sit
Because
there and
they're
have to
not-
count up how many words are in the name of something.
Well, no, you look at basically everything on the card, and like anytime there's a number or a number word, like 1 or O and E, you can add or subtract 1 to that, and that there's a lot of places where that can come up. So I feel like if you're doing that one, or if you're planning to do that one, you're gonna be reading a whole lot of stuff and thinking a whole lot.
Mhm.
Like when you have lightning bolt in your hand, you're like, all right, there's some decision making as far as what do I use it on and when do I use it. But ultimately, you know it's going to deal 3 damage. What this can possibly mean for that card is a lot, just a lot. And so those are all the variants. That's a lot of variants.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's why the number of cards in the set was listed as 216-ish.
Yeah.
Because 13 different cards have between 4 and 6 variations. And they have swapped out everything you could on these cards, except for collector number. And I get the feeling the only reason they didn't do that is just because of sheer logistics. So, yeah, I think this is hilarious. It just bothers me that, at least as of this recording, these changes aren't in Gatherer. Or are they? Extremely. Oh, wait, that's rules text. Delete. Name. Extremely. Add. Search. Hey, extremely slow zombie. Nope, no variants listed. That's an actual, like, that actually bothers me.
Yeah.
Like before Monday Night Magic, this odds and ends hasn't gone up yet, but before Monday Night Magic, Clues goes, yeah, about these variants, I have a couple of reservations. And Bill and I, as if someone threw a signal, we both went, silver bordered, doesn't matter. He goes, yeah, I know they're silver bordered, because Clues likes to have rules reservations about things, because as a former judge, he thinks about that sort of thing. But he's like, yeah, these aren't listed anywhere, like, in Gatherer. And I'm like, what? And so now I have reservations. But still, it's really awesome. And I'm, wait a minute. Magiccards.info. Hang on. Extremely. Oh. They're not here either. Huh. There's no variations in magiccards.info either.
Well, I mean, that's well, even though that is a fan-run thing, I'm surprised that hasn't been.
Yeah, you'd think someone would have put these in by now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about TCG Player? Surely they have a way to sell the different versions.
Oh, yeah.
Everything jig. Yep, they have A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, good. Good. So the sites that are selling them have figured it out. The sites that aren't haven't felt the need. Get on that, nerds.
Set's out now, so...
Yeah, so hurry up. Anyway.
I guess it makes sense that the people who want to make money off of them are the first to get it done.
Well, yeah.
Well, and if you're going to buy one, it probably matters to you which one you're going to buy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Star City actually had a big thing about this when the variants were first discovered. They were like, okay, look, if you pre-ordered this one card, then you're going to get the one that was revealed when you pre-ordered it.
Yeah.
And if you ordered the whole set, you're going to get one of each. And we'll deal with corner cases as they come up. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was really cool. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure that other sites that deal in the same way did something similar. At least I hope they did. Because I can't think of a better way to do it. But anyway.
It was interesting to... I recently, through a couple of other links, looked at some of the set review articles that Louis Scott Vargas wrote about this. I think it was a limited review. And it was interesting because when he wrote the white and the blue, there was no even when he wrote the white and the blue, I'm pretty certain there wasn't any indication about all the different variations yet.
Oh yeah, not even a hint.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when he got, like, I remember distinctly his comments for Night of the Kitchen Sink and Novella Mental included a kind of, yeah, this is interesting. I guess I don't get it. I remember that specifically about those two cards, Night of the Kitchen Sink and Novella Mental.
It's good to know that a bunch of us had similar reactions to some of these. Mm-hmm. Like, some of them worked on their own. The Ineffable Blessing, the Extremely Slow Zombie, those worked by themselves.
Yes.
And then some of the others were like, like the Sly Spy, that works fine with just the first one. Like, sure, okay. And then for others, a bunch of us were like, I don't get it. And that makes me happy.
Yeah.
Freaking hive mind. Sometimes it works. So, as far as other like new card related things, we've got some Rivals of Ixalan stuff going on here.
Oh yeah.
Not much, but just enough.
A dab, a drizzle.
A drizzle, yeah. A smidge and a skosh. Well, since I already talked about all this on Monday Night Magic, I'm actually going to go grab something to drink. You guys go to town.
Hey guys, what town should we go to? I like Topeka. It's got a great name.
Topeka.
It's got a great name. Topeka. Name one place that's got a better name than Topeka.
Poughkeepsie.
Poughkeepsie has too many P's in it.
What? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go grab a drink now.
So the unique cards from the Planeswalker decks for Rivals of Ixalan have been revealed.
Yes,
those are the precons that have a special Planeswalker in charge and special other cards in them.
Right.
There's
Especially
one
ones that reference those Planeswalkers. Yeah.
Yes. There's one for Angreth, and there's one for Vraska.
Yeah.
The Angreth deck appears to be black-red, and the Vraska deck appears to be mono-black.
Mm-hmm. Which is an interesting turn for Vraska, because she's always been black-green.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I saw the article about this in there's a link to it on Facebook, and the first card I could see was Vraska, and I didn't realize that it was the Planeswalker specific Vraska, and I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting, and I was wondering if it was alluding to something in the story, because where the story left off from Ixalan, you know, it was kind of unclear what was going to happen between Vraska and Jace. And is this, you know, okay, she's just hell-bent. Maybe Jace has abandoned her and she's just hell-bent on doing what she needs to do to survive. But because this is made for this product, we don't really know if that's how it's going to go. And I doubt there will be another Vraska in Rivals, because we just had one in Ixalan.
Yes.
And we're definitely going to have Angrath in the set, because he hasn't been in yet. I'm not sure what other Planeswalkers we might have, but
I don't know. Maybe Nicol Bolas will come back. Who knows?
Maybe.
No.
I don't know from a story-wise perspective. If it's not really safe to come back to Ixalan until the Immortal Sun has been retrieved, he may not want to get stuck there, because he's got a lot of things going on. And that's one of the reasons why I think he knows perfectly well where the Immortal Sun is, and he's not bothering to go himself. So they've shown us the packaging for Rivals of Ixalan, and it looks pretty nifty. Doesn't give us a whole lot of insight, except that, oh, look, these are pictures of cards that will be in the set.
Yeah. So like usual, they included one of the simple enters tapped lands that can make different mana.
Yeah.
Angreth's deck has Cinder Barons. It makes black and red.
And there's not one in Vraska's because it's mono black.
Yeah, it's mono black. So Angreth himself is, in this Planeswalker deck, is Angreth, Minotaur Pirate, 4 black and red. And he starts at 5 loyalty. He has a +2. Angreth deals 1 damage to target opponent and each creature that player controls. When I first saw that, I was like, wow, that's actually really good.
Yeah,
it's a +2. Yeah, it's a +2 to just, hey, no small things for you.
The middle ability, -3, return target pirate card from your graveyard to the battlefield.
That's just weird.
Yeah, you know, some of these Planeswalker deck Planeswalkers are very, very specific to what their deck wants to do.
Right.
So I guess that's represented there.
I mean, they don't want them to be super competitive, and one way to do that is to make them narrow.
Yes.
So, okay. Limit break?
The limit break is -11. Destroy all creatures target opponent controls. Angrath deals damage to that player equal to their total power.
Boom. Although it is kind of oxymoronic, not really, but a little
Sorry.
bit. Well, just because it takes 11 to go off for that,
Mhm.
and the more, in theory, the more creatures they have, the bigger that last ability will be. But the more creatures they have, the more power they have, the less likely it is that Angrath will be able to reach his limit burst. So it's kind of, I mean, you can always just Wrath, even if they've got one thing, especially a one-sided Wrath. That's good. But it's just interesting how that plays out. And I do want to point out that for multiplayer, this does target an opponent. So it's not all creatures you don't control. So, you know, it may be that maybe you'll be able to build it up if people feel like they're safe. And then everybody's like, all right, Mike's going to build it up to take care of Chewie. And maybe Mike will do it to get rid of me instead. I'll be like, what the hell, man?
Dang it, Mike. I mean, Brian. I mean, I wasn't paying attention.
That's okay. So that's Angrath.
Dang it,
I'm
both
curious,
of you.
I'm curious to see how he lines up with his, you know, actual set specific incarnation, because we haven't seen him on a card before.
Yeah.
He's got an Ambusher. It's one of the uncommons in his deck. Angrath's Ambusher costs 2 and a black for a 2/3 Orc Pirate. And originally when I saw this card, I wasn't looking very closely at the face. And I'm like, wait, Orc? And I had to look again. I'm like, yep. And it gets +2/+0 as long as you control an Angrath Planeswalker. Pretty straightforward. Yes, I would like a 4/3 for 3, please.
Yeah.
Then there's Angrath's Fury. For 3 black red, it's a rare sorcery. Destroy target creature. Angrath's Fury deals 3 damage to target player. You may search your library and or graveyard for a card named Angrath. Minotaur Pirate, reveal it, and put it into your hand. If you search your library this way, shuffle it.
Because there's always a way to go get this version.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And for 5 damage, kill that, deal 3, draw a card. Not for 5 damage, for 5 mana.
I was going to say, wait, what?
Yeah, no. For 5 mana, kill that, deal 3, draw a card. Sounds really good to me.
I like it. And I like the fact that it can pull it out of the graveyard if it's already been destroyed.
Yeah.
So.
I also like the fact that this costs 5 and Angrath costs 6, so it's an obvious thing to do the turn before.
Yes.
Nice. And then there's Clues' favorite here, the Swab Goblin.
Swab!
He's just a 2/2 for 1 and a red Goblin Pirate. And that's it. But he's called Swab Goblin. Come on, man.
Swab. All right, and then we move on to the Vraska deck, and of course we've got Vraska herself, Vraska Scheming Gorgon, for 6 mana, 4 and 2 black. She comes in with 5 loyalty. She's also got a +2. Creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. Seems like a fairly minor effect, but again, is a +2 loyalty. A -3 to straight up destroy target creature. And then finally, a very interesting limit break here for -10. Until end of turn, creatures you control gain Death Touch, and whenever this creature deals damage to an opponent, that player loses the game.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
I think we're all just... And she gives it to all creatures. And of course, this is a callback to her original card where she makes those 3 assassins.
Yeah.
But now I'm imagining a multiplayer game where I'm like, and use this, and I've got like 3 pingers, so guess what? I win. I mean, you gotta let me do it, but still. Wow. Okay. So that's Vraska, Scheming Gorgon. So scheming.
The Vampire Champion, I like it. For 3 and a black. It's a 3/3 vampire soldier. It's common, and it has death touch.
There's Vraska's Conquistador. For 1 and a black, it's a 2/1 uncommon vampire soldier. When Vraska's Conquistador attacks or blocks, if you control Vraska Planeswalker, target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life.
So that's interesting. 2 vampires aligned with Vraska. I wonder if that's just how these decks turned out, or if that's a story beat that Vraska and the vampire start working together at some point.
I don't know. I think the fact that there's not a dual land shown here shows that this is a mono black deck.
Mm-hmm.
So that might. But these were custom cards made for this.
Yes.
Never mind. Shutting up. I was gonna say it could just be that they were running out of other cards to put in there, but nope, they made these up for this. So just ignore me.
And then there's one more. That's Vraska Scorn.
Sorry about that, listeners. I'm dumb.
You want to take it, or?
No. Go ahead. The listeners just heard Windows error sounds because I forgot to click on a thing. I'm muted and working on the next thing we're gonna do while you guys are reading these, and I'm an idiot, so I screwed it up. So the listeners just heard bling, bling, bling. Oh, my bad. I'm not gonna cut it out because that wouldn't be honest.
And we pride ourselves on honesty here.
We do? Oh, I mean, we do.
Yeah, that's the ticket.
So Vraska Scorn for 2 and 2 black. It's a rare sorcery. Target opponent loses 4 life. You may search your library and or graveyard for a card named Vraska Scheming Gorgon. Reveal it and put it into your hand. If you search your library this way, shuffle it.
I really wish that this gave you the life they lost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It is unfortunate, yeah. And it doesn't have any board impact, but it only costs 4.
It does only cost 4. It kind of reminds me of, you know how there was the black lightning bolt with flashback in Innistrad that people were playing in very aggressive decks?
Oh, yeah.
It kind of makes me feel a little bit like that. But so those are the new cards, plus Cinder Bairns, for the Planeswalker decks. We do have a couple of other promos here, though. For example, if you were playing in I almost said original, but if you were playing in Lorwyn block, you might original Lorwyn block. You might remember the Silver Gill Adept, and this actually saw a decent amount of play in Merfolk decks because it's pretty awesome. I don't know, does this get played in Modern? It's not a lore.
Well,
and I know
when people play Merfolk decks in Modern, yes, they play Silver Gill Adept.
Do they? Okay. I don't know enough about Modern to keep up with that. But anyway, Silvergill Adept is a 2/1 Merfolk Wizard and it's an uncommon here for 1 and a blue. When it enters the battlefield, you draw a card, so it replaces itself, and you either actually have to pay an additional 3 generic for it, or reveal a Merfolk card from your hand as you cast it. So if you've got another Merfolk in your hand, like say a second copy of Silvergill Adept, you show that you play it for 2. Otherwise, you got to pay 5 for it.
Or if you have an Aether Vial, you pay 0.
Yes. But it is interesting because while it is certainly Modern legal, it's in Rivals of Ixalan.
Yay.
And you can open it the old-fashioned way, just out of boosters, or draft it. Or if you show up for participating in Open House on January 6th through 7th, which of course is prior to the set's release, then you can get one of these, which is pretty nice. I like the art on it.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Yep.
Also got a fancy promo, Evolving Wilds, that you can get for participating in leagues.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very nice Evolving Wilds.
Like the art on that as well. Mm-hmm. And it's nice to know because that tells you that once again will be in the set, correct? So
yes.
Yeah. So little insights into what's actually going to be in the set here.
The buy the box is Captain's Hook.
this is neat.
For 3 colorless mana, it is a rare equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+0, has menace, and is a pirate in addition to its other creature type. Whenever Captain's Hook becomes unattached from a permanent, destroy that permanent, equip of 1.
Which is very nice. For the +2/+0 and menace, and then of course the pirate allows for synergies within the block. But even if you just had an equipment that said, +2/+0 and menace and equip of 1, you would be like, this is going to get played in everything because it's just free creature pump. So of course you've got the rider then about, okay, when it comes off, you destroy it. It's a grafted gear. But menace, +2/+0 and menace. And then when, so they block it then, and because you're not getting toughness boost, you're probably going to lose whatever creature you've got it on, maybe take out at least 1, if not 2 of the things blocking it, and then you throw this on something else. So I really feel like that unequipped clause is not a big deal. I'm curious to see what the non-promo art looks like. Okay, then we've got a promo for Draft Weekend. Chewie, did you want to take any of these, or do you feel like you've already talked about them? So,
go for it.
Okay, so for Draft Weekend, if you participate, you could walk home with Brass's Bounty. Now, if you remember, Captain Beckett Brass was a rare legend in Ixalan, and she was the pirate that had haste, and when she attacks, you get a treasure. I had one at the pre-release, and I kind of forgot about her other ability of when you sack a treasure, she gets a power boost. So here, this is very much on theme for her because she's out for treasure. So for 6 and a red, Brass's Bounty is a sorcery rare and has, for each land you control, create a treasure. That's pretty big. Let's assume that you use some treasure to play this because it does cost 7. But let's say you've got, let's even lowball and say you've got 4 lands, which I think is on the low end. To then go to 4 treasures, and you had to sack 3 to do that. But that once again, low there. Most likely you've got 5 or 6 or more lands when you play this, and of course you can always play this much later in the game. And let's not forget, not only does that explode your mana for when you sack those treasures, but for things that care about how many artifacts you control, that's a lot of artifacts.
Yeah.
So, kind of neat. And the flavor text is, why squabble for trinkets when we could be living large off all this gold? So, again, that's what she's here for. She's not seeking the Golden City for the mysteries it contains or the power. She just wants money.
I want the gold. Give me the gold.
And then finally, we have some tokens here, and 3 new double-sided tokens. And the most straightforward of them is on one side, it's an illusion. A 2/2 has, when it becomes the target of a spell, you sacrifice it. And on the other side, it's a 1/1 sapling. Straightforward, everybody gets it.
Yeah,
also, yeah, go ahead.
There's another one with a 1/1 merfolk with hexproof on one side and a treasure token on the other side.
Yep, also fairly straightforward.
Mm-hmm. These are made by cards that we already know.
Right.
And then there's City's Blessing on one side, and the other side is an elemental. A 0/1 elemental.
That's a weird elemental, though. Read that.
Beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice this creature and return target card named Rekindling Phoenix from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste until end of turn.
That's a 0/1.
So obviously, or not obviously, but it seems to me there will be a card called Rekindling Phoenix, and it may have something like, when this dies, create this elemental token. So
it's another way for a variation for a phoenix to come back.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
When I first read it, I think I misread it, and I thought of it as more of the You remember the vampire that could turn into a bat and then turn back into a vampire? I kind of thought of it as that. It was the one from Time Spiral. And I thought of it as that, but I think, this definitely looks like it belongs on a when this dies clause. So that's kind of interesting because we don't know what the phoenix itself, what the rest of it is. Is it a giant phoenix or like a really like small, like Chandra's type phoenix?
Mm-hmm.
What's really interesting is this city's blessing because it doesn't have any keywords. It doesn't tell you what it does. It doesn't say enchantment. And the thing that it reminds me
rules
most,
text at all.
What it really says to me is it reminds me of Monarch. And I'm wondering if there's going to be.
But didn't the Monarch token have rules text on it, or did it not?
It might have, and it might have said when you've been dealt combat damage, the person that does it goes over. But this is obviously just to indicate something. It's to indicate somebody has the city's blessing, and it may be that more than one person can have it. But the flavor seems to indicate otherwise, because this whole set is all about Orazka has been discovered, and now everybody is racing to explore it and get to the immortal sun. So it's not about exploring the wilderness anymore. It's not about finding the city. We've got the city now. Everybody is jumping over each other trying to get to the top. So this would seem to indicate, hey, congratulations, you're in the lead, or you've made it there. And because it doesn't have any full text itself, it might be something that other cards care about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, while you've got City's Blessing, gets +1/+1 on lifelink and can protection from dark.
Oh, that's a good point.
Always need protection from me.
A lot of good it's done me over the years.
Does that mean I can attack first and not die right away?
Nope.
So that's what we
How's
know
that
about.
worked out, guys?
So that's what we know about Rivals. Previews begin officially on January 1st, which is a Monday. Although I wouldn't be surprised if they gave us a little early Christmas present. And that means that the pre-release is like a little over a month away.
Yeah. I'm looking, and the Monarch token does have rules text on it.
Does it? Okay.
And I just remembered it had misprinted rules text.
Yeah.
At the beginning, your end step.
Oh, yeah.
Card.
Yes.
So,
Not what we call like functional misprint, but more just grammatical.
yeah, not
Yes.
like that thing that just says, give something minus something minus O. Not until end of turn.
Yeah.
I was in Kamigawa, and I'm like,
Oops.
really? I thought we'd gotten past this, you guys. Okay. So, we were going to do a thing, but we decided that would take too long, now that we've been going for like an hour and a half already.
Spoiler alert.
But this other thing is also going to take a while. But I think it'll be...
Not as long.
Oh,
jeez.
yeah. So, we have another listener-submitted Mad Lib. This one has a lot of spaces. So you guys, you know how we're usually very nice and we're waiting on other people? Just fire them out.
Okay.
There are a bunch of blanks here.
I'm ready.
So this is from... Who's this from? Mike XIV is how he signed his email. So we will go with that. So thank you, Mike XIV. You can tell how good this is by how hard we are giggling when we're done. Now, are we... Okay, there's a thing here. Well, I'll explain that when we get to it. So, first off, I need a card with Decree in the name.
Decree of Savagery.
Got it. Decree of Savagery. Okay. Now, now I need a non-basic land.
Spires of Orazka.
That is technically a non-basic land.
Now I need a plane.
Zendikar.
So you guys fail at just firing them out.
Yeah, I was trying to think of
the
name of the unstable plane, but I couldn't come up with it. Bablovia.
Yeah, there you go.
Now I know.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me make this slightly easier on myself real quick. Okay, how about a creature race?
Dragon.
Creature class.
Wizard.
Artificer.
Heard wizard first. I need a blue instant.
Deny.
That's a blue instant? Deny? Really?
Really?
Is it not? Listen, it sounds like it is. How about delay?
Now I have to look. Deny. There is deny existence, deny reality, denying wind. Okay, so delay.
Yeah.
An evergreen keyword.
First strike.
First strike. A land subtype.
Shrine? No, that's shrine.
That's an enchantment. Urzas. That is, in fact, a land subtype. Nice. I need... Wait a minute. Did I finish typing this properly? Land subtype. Artifact. Yep, need an artifact.
Bonesaw.
Bonesaw. I hear it's ready. I need a green enchantment.
Oath of Druids.
That is dirty.
I was just thinking that.
That it was dirty or Oath of Druids?
Yes. I was.
Oh, just wait.
That was the response I formed in my head. That was.
Mike and I seem to be on the same page on a lot of things today. All right, that was green enchantment. Here it is. Oath of Druids. I need a god.
Dirk.
Dirk, when someone asks if you're a god.
And I was just thinking that.
Erebus.
What was he the god of?
Erebos, god of death.
Yeah.
Erebus. How did you spell that?
Erebos.
Okay, that's what I thought. I need a creature type.
God.
God. Comedy. I need a combat trick.
Sorry, god of the dead, if you want to be
true.
super correct about it.
I still need a combat trick, though. Or else I'm going to lose on my next...
Act of heroism.
Act of heroism. What does that do?
For 1 and a white, untapped target creature gets +2/+2 and can block an additional creature this turn.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Cool.
All right, here's a good one. I need a member of Wizards R&D.
Is Ethan Fleischer still on the team?
I think so. Ethan Fleischer. Okay. A creature keyword.
Kicker?
Nah.
Or is that to be specific to a creature?
Well,
I think we should choose a creature-specific one.
Yeah.
Frenzy.
Frenzy. How about a non-creature keyword? Haha, didn't expect
Cascade
that,
work?
did you?
Well, Cascade is on creatures and non-creatures.
Yeah.
Is it Rebound, the one that it repeats itself next turn?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. An alternate win card.
Oh. Shared fate. I quit.
That's my line.
Mortal Kombat.
And no breaking Brian. Oh, Mortal Kombat.
Oh, that's great. It is an alternate win condition against Chewie if I don't tell him I'm playing it. Although Chewie then starts a sub-game.
Okay. Not anymore. I've grown up. Shut up. I quit.
He's 37 now.
This is a weird one. We're gonna call this a group because this can this. Okay, this is gonna sound weird, but this is a list, a thing that's written in this here. This grouping can involve guilds, clans, factions, tribes, shards, stuff like that.
Oh.
So give me a grouping.
Grixis.
Grixis. Okay. I need another creature type.
Minotaur.
Minotaur. A white sorcery.
Twarm! Wait, no, that's not a sorcery. Wrath of God? It's a sorcery,
Yeah, I was
right?
trying to think of something that wasn't that.
Well, too late. Chewie said to keep moving, so.
Wrath of God. Okay, I need another grouping.
Tamir.
Teamer. Close enough.
Yeah, I heard Demir and Temur put together, so...
Yeah, well, you know. I need a land destruction spell.
Armageddon.
That is one. Here, I was
out of here.
I was thinking of ones that do one at a time, and Dirk's like, no, hell no.
Dirk does not
Let's
have
just
time.
go for the throat.
Dirk does not have time for this nonsense. Another grouping.
I think this is you, Mike.
The Infinite Consortium.
That's true.
Consortium, okay. I need a card type.
Planeswalker.
Planeswalker. I need a keyword action.
Mike.
Yeah, I was to say, Mike, I think this one's on you.
Explore.
Explore. There's even a note here, so he for some of these that are slightly less
less
obvious.
well known.
Yeah, he gave me some notes, and next to this one, the note is Mike will know what I mean.
He knows us. He knows us so well.
So well done, Mike 14. Okay, you guys remember the incarnations? I need an incarnation.
Filth.
Naturally. Non-basic land.
Sorrow's Path.
Sorrow's Path. That is what this Mad Lib is turning into. A sorcery. Wait, is it just sorcery, really? Okay, alt win card. Land destruction spell. Incarnation, non-basic land. Sorcery, yeah, okay. I was making sure I didn't miss a word.
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse. Okay, I need a creature type.
Artificer.
He knew he'd get it eventually.
Eventually.
I need a black sorcery.
Oh, I'm blanking.
That is not a black sorcery.
No, it is not. Bump in the night.
Bump. And I need a white sorcery.
Bump in the day.
But you guys are all terrible.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of white sorceries that aren't Wrath or Armageddon.
Purify.
Purify.
There we go.
I need a creature with power 2 or less.
Ledgewalker.
Okay, I heard... I couldn't make out two different things there.
I said Lotus Cobra and Dirk said Edgewalker.
Do you say Edgewalker or Ledgewalker? He might be talking about Sylvan
Ledgewalker.
Either way, Lotus Cobra is a full card name, not part of one. Vehicle.
Freaking that one with haste.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're talking about like the hot rod one.
Yes.
I don't know what that's called. But I do remember Smuggler's Copter.
I can see the art, but it didn't matter. Smuggler's Copter. Is it bad that when I said vehicle, I typed SM and then waited? I need an instant. Hang on. An instant. That was my bad. I can't type.
Boomerang.
Boomerang. I need an artifact subtype. 2, 3, 4, 5. Apparently there are 6 of those. I'm guessing
That's
he doesn't mean
interesting.
creature.
Yeah,
Vehicle?
Vehicle is in fact one of them.
it is.
The others, do you know the others?
Contraption, equipment, fortification.
How did you get that one? Okay.
What are the others?
Clue and treasure.
Clue. Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Almost got there.
I need another incarnation.
Filth.
Nope, already been said.
Oh, somehow I missed that. Okay.
Anger.
Anger. I can't type. Okay. Whoa, what is... No, go away. I need another grouping. Reminder, that's
The
guilds, clans,
Gatewatch.
factions, tribes, shards.
The Gatewatch.
The Gatewatch. You know what? That counts. Not. I've lost my notepad. Here it is. The Gatewatch. I need a Planeswalker subtype.
Angrath.
Angrath. Wow. For some reason, I expected a Johnny, so I typed in A.
Oh.
So at least I got, the first letter right. I need, I'm not sure about this. I need a white non-aura enchantment.
Huh.
Presence of the Master. For some reason, that's the one that comes to mind.
Wow, that's not going to flow well at all. Okay, I need a non-basic land.
Maze of Ith.
Maze of Ith. I need a... Oh, this one just says guild. Okay, I need a guild.
Simic.
Of course. Okay.
Should have seen that one coming.
Racism. I need a non-white planeswalker.
Nicol Bolas.
Nicol Bolas. Is it bad that when I read that, the first thing that popped into my mind was later versions of Gideon?
Oh.
In his first art, he was pasty white. All right, I need a plane.
What was it, Mike? What was it? Yeah,
Babylovia. I need a third incarnation.
Glory.
Oh my god. I need another non-basic land.
Keswick Wolfrun?
Oh god. You monster. And I need another land subtype.
Keswick Wolfrun. We already said
covered.
That's
I think
super
snow
type.
has been changed to a super type. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good call though.
Refuge? Is that a?
Nope.
Is that a? No.
No, it's not on the list here, and it doesn't. Oh, that's just a cycle of lands. Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Layer.
That's a good one.
Oh yeah, from Apocalypse or from the Invasion cycle.
He's got a list here. So there's the 5 obvious ones: Plains, Island, Swamp, Mountain, Forest. Then there's Desert, Lair.
Oh yeah.
Locust. Remember that one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Gate.
Oh.
And then apparently Mine, Power Plant, and Tower are all types?
Yeah, they are.
Urza?
Okay, so...
And Urza's is also a subtype.
So it's land, Urza's Tower?
It is.
Oh.
If they're separate words, that means they're separate subtypes.
Huh. Neat.
It can only be a single subtype if you hyphenate it.
Yeah.
That's why Power Plant is
which
is
they
a
did with
subtype,
Power
and
Plant.
you don't have power and plant.
Gotcha.
That means we can have land, island, desert, tower.
Yeah.
All right, then. Okay, so let me see if I can translate this properly. I'm going to guess no.
Probably not.
Okay.
Rosetta Stone. Good for that.
This is a giant block of text here. Okay, hang on. Let's move it onto this monitor so it's less stupid. There we go. This monitor is bigger. All right, here we go. The unanimous decree of savagery of the 13 United Spires of Araska of Zendikar. Are you quite finished? This is a serious document. Jesus.
Yes, sir.
When in the course... hang on, I need to move these closer to each other so I'm not shooting across the entire world here to try to read it. Okay. When in the course of dragon events, it becomes necessary for one wizard to delay the political bands which have connected them with another.
Oh, this is going to be great.
And to assume among the first strike, within the first strike of the Urzas, the separate and equal bone saw, to which the laws of Oath of Druids and of Erebos, God of the Dead, entitle them.
That's gotta be the dirtiest combination of laws imaginable.
A decent respect to the opinions. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Things are getting out of whack. Hang on. Let me make this smaller. Not that small. Hang on. Getting there. Okay. The laws of Oath of Druids and of Erebos, God of the Dead, that entitled. Okay, here we go. A decent respect to the opinions Oh, that's why I was confused, because it's God. Okay, a decent respect to the opinions of God requires... Uh-oh. Oh no, I missed one! Quick, give me a red instant. I'm so
Lightning
bad.
bolt.
Yeah, lightning bolt. Yeah,
Lightning bolt. Okay. A decent respect to the opinions of God requires that they should lightning bolt the causes which impel them to the separation.
That would do it.
That is correct. Yes.
Wait. Bad at this game. This is a red instant. Okay. We hold these truths. Hold on. I missed two. Oh, I must have missed like one line. And 3. Okay, hang on. Two more. I need a non-aura enchantment. I'm so sorry, you guys. I was doing this while we were...
That's okay.
Glorious
Torture.
Anthem.
Glorious Anthem, and I need another creature type.
Troll.
Of course.
Oh.
Okay, sorry. Okay, we hold these truths to be Glorious Anthem, that all trolls are created equal.
Yeah, they are.
and that they are act of heroism by Ethan Fleischer with certain unalienable rights. That among these are frenzy, rebound, and the pursuit of Mortal Kombat. Okay. That to secure these rights, Grixis are instituted among Minotaurs, deriving their just powers from the wrath of God of the governed. That whenever any form of teamer,
That's racist.
right, becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right... Uh-oh. I missed another one. Okay, I'll make it up. It is the right of the goblin to alter or to Armageddon it. And to institute new infinite consortium, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its planeswalkers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their exploring. And the Mortal Kombat. Oh, and their Explorer and Mortal Kombat. Okay.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I don't see what you guys are laughing at. This is an important document. Filth indeed will dictate that sorrow's paths long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience hath apocalypse. That artificers are more disposed to bump in the night.
Now that's racist.
What? While evils are sufferable, than to purify themselves by abolishing the forms of which lotus cobras are accustomed. But when a long smuggler's copter of abuses and usurpations, boomeranging invariably the same vehicle.
Dang it, Dirt, quit boomeranging my vehicle.
Oh my god, I missed some more. I'm the worst. Okay, wait. But when a long vehicle of abuses and usurpations, swords to plowshares invariably the same treasures. It's another artifact subtype. I don't have that many to choose from. Evinces a design to reduce them under absolute anger. It is their right, it is their duty to throw off such gatewatch. To provide new Angraths for their future presence of the master. That actually did flow pretty well. Such has been the patient sufferance of these mazes of Ith, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former simic. The history of the present Nicol Bolas of Bablovia is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute glory over these Kessig Wolf runs. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid lair. So other than missing some, my bad. That was pretty good.
I like that a lot.
I can tell we misunderstood the direction for grouping. Those responses were expecting an answer of guild or shard or something like that, or clan.
Which we did do for all of them except for...
No. I'm saying
the
those
word.
words like that.
Oh,
yeah.
Whoops.
I could tell that's what those were expecting. We misunderstood it.
Oh, okay. The note says, see the special list in the instructions. So I'll go back up. Oh, these blanks should be filled in by picking a word from this list. Whoops. Oh, well. Our way was funnier. Less accurate, but funnier. And again, this is what happens when we change plans in mid-episode.
Still, this one had a lot of great moments, which I love.
An Oath of Druids of Erebos, dude. And then I got confused because the next one after Erebos was the word God. And I'm like, oh, wait, I missed one somewhere. No.
No, you asked for a creature type, so.
Yeah, and you gave me God. But like I said, when I'm reading it, the word above it is God.
Can you read that line? Can you read that sentence again?
Which one?
The one that has Erebos and Oath of Druid. Yeah.
Okay, all of this is a sentence. When in the... okay, wait. Race, creature type. Hang on. Creature race. Here we go. When in the course of dragon events, it becomes necessary for one wizard to delay the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the first strikes of the Urzas the separate and equal bone songs to which the laws of Oath of Druids and of Erebos, God of the Dead, entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of God, requires that they should lightning bolt the causes which impel them to the separation.
That was a good one. Thank you, Mike. I'm not you, Mike, the other Mike.
Yeah, that was good. It was very long, but luckily, it was supposed to block off another thing we were going to do, so we needed a long one. So excellent.
It was based on a historical document as well, so I think he felt like he had to conform to that. But yeah, that was awesome.
Oh crap! I need to email him and let him know. Okay then. So I do believe that's an episode right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we've got what have we got here? What did we do this episode? We've got variants in unstable, new stuff, and a historical document, Mad Lib. Yeah, I think we did pretty well.
Yeah.
So how about some final thoughts from you guys?
Well, I think Dirk probably wants to go, right?
Yeah. I'm excited that today was the last day of exams. So tomorrow is makeup exams, and then next week I have a couple teacher work days, and then I have winter break afterwards. And then when we get back from the break, school will start up again.
Do you think you passed?
All my kids passed.
Oh,
but did you
it was shock to me, but because there were a lot that I thought, oh, there's just no way this kid's gonna pass. And there was one that they had to go dig out, find his scores because they just weren't where they were supposed to be. And when she told me what he made, I thought, oh wow, will this kid pass? And sure enough, he passed literally by the skin of his teeth. So I mean, it knocked me over with a feather. It was how shocked I was that he passed. But just there is so much going on in terms of the news and everything that it just I just have no idea what to think about what's going to happen in the not too distant future. My big thing is the net neutrality thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that sucks, but it's not like anything's going to change immediately. There's still plenty of time to.
Yeah, there's not going to be an immediate change, and there's a lot of.
There's going to be a ton of litigation first.
Yeah,
just
and
a
there
buttload.
is the question of, yes, it passed the FCC that this has changed, but doesn't have to go before Congress, or it has to go before legislators before it actually fully takes effect. I'm not quite sure if that's the case or not, but yeah, it's just that there has been such a big outcry of don't change the rules, don't do this to us, that when the fact that 3 people in a room said, yeah, we're going to change this, that totally slaps the hundreds of millions of Americans in the face with regards to this. But like you said, it's not going to be an immediate change. It's going to be a little bit here, but it's going to, depending on if this fully goes into effect in probably 5 years, where the internet may be a very different place.
Well, hopefully it won't come to that.
I hope not either. But that's sort of my thought for tonight, is that this happened today, that this decision was made, and so it's one of those things that it's sort of been on my mind, in the back of my mind, going, oh my gosh, this is how we talk to each other. This is how we communicate with each other and how we do all this stuff. This is how, you upload YouTube videos. This is how I play WoW. This is how Mike and Brian and Yuga and Chewie do Hearthstone and do, I'm trying to say Nexus is the only thing that's coming to mind, but, all and me doing WoW, and it's things just, wow, there's going to be a huge, whatever happens, there's going to be a big change. And how much backlash there is in the whole long run is really what's going to be questioned. So, but like I said, that's my final thought for tonight.
Nice downer for us there, Dirk.
Well, I do the downer, that way you guys can pull us out of the gutter.
Hey, there we go.
And if you need to go, I was going to break my final thought into 2 parts. I think the part that'd be more interesting to you, let me go ahead and say now. So net neutrality and the loss thereof, potential loss thereof, is the downer. The other big news from today is Disney acquiring yet another mega property, this time Fox, 20th Century Fox, which, in my opinion, part of me is a little, like, as much as I love Disney, part of me is a little like, okay, they've already eaten a lot of things, and most of the things that they've eaten have come out much better. Quality Star Wars movies, at least as far as we can tell, seeing a new one tomorrow. Woohoo! But I so far it's been good. Fox certainly feels like it's Fox is huge on its own. Being eaten by Disney is kind of crazy. But I will say, I feel like this is happening a year too late. Because if this had happened a year ago, you all know that the X-Men would have been in Infinity War. And it makes me sad that probably, like, think about what happened when Marvel got a Spider-Man back. All of a sudden, Spider-Man's in Civil War, and he's one of the best parts about it. So, and now we have Homecoming and all that good stuff. So yeah, Fox has the rights to the X-Men movies. Disney owns Fox, therefore, heretofore, in summation, woohoo. So I didn't know if you had an opinion about that, Dirk.
I hadn't even thought about that. I just thought that, Disney owns CBS, don't they?
I don't know. Disney owns ABC.
ABC. Yeah. So technically Disney will own 2 major networks?
Yes.
No, they bought 20th Century Fox, right? Just the movie arm, not the...
No, not the, because they also own The Simpsons. They own most of it. Oh. They just don't own... There were a couple of carve-outs, like they don't own Fox News. That was actually literally in the deal was we don't own Fox News, which...
Why would you want to?
Well, I think it's for the reason Dirk just pointed out.
So in regards to news and everything, they don't just say, all right, now we're going to feed you the news. They own things like the movie rights and stuff of that sort.
I misspoke. I said 20th Century Fox. Technically, they bought Fox Network, which includes the films. So, for example, you might see Deadpool land now in Disney World, although I doubt it because, yeah. Maybe they can make a good Fantastic Four movie.
Obviously, dear listeners, we don't know any of the details. Clearly, we just read the headlines same as you.
Yeah, I read something either earlier today or yesterday, I can't remember which, that pointed out that, the Aliens movies are 20th Century Fox. And there's an alien queen, so that means now the aliens are Disney princesses.
Yay!
There's a picture I saw on Dorkly of an alien standing on Pride Rock, holding up an egg with a face hugger coming out of it. Simba style.
Circle of blah.
So, my other final thought is, and Dirk, I know you need to get going, but I've looked into the Final Fantasy TCG a little bit because I think I might have mentioned this either in odds and ends or something, but it's kind of fascinating to me because I like collectible card games and trading card games, and I love Final Fantasy. And so I thought it was interesting. The issues that I have with it are I can't really invest into it too much, first of all, because, limited resources, and second of all, because I need someone to play with. And I've got a couple starter decks if anybody that's listening, well, okay, these guys, not just any listener. I'm not going to have anybody over to my house. But, if any of the other co-hosts want to try them out, I'm happy to do that. But, none of the local stores carry it. It turns out, through some wacky business logic, only one distributor carries this game. So, whereas I think Magic is carried by at least 5 distributors, so it's not that easy to get a hold of. Luckily, the website for the Final Fantasy TCG does have a function where you can look for stores in your area that sell it. And the only one around here is a store called Lost Ark in Greensboro, which is all Chewie. It turns out it's both a game store and an arcade.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Right. You had said something about, it's that arcade, and I was like, huh?
Well, yeah, the arcade is the first thing that comes to mind, but they were also a place that sold used video games and whatnot.
Yeah. They've got a lot of fan type stuff, and they do sell Magic and other card games, but they don't have a space to play the card games, so they don't run tournaments or even events or anything like that.
Right.
So, and I think the nearest place that does is a store that Chewie was familiar with in Kannapolis, because you know the owner.
Yeah, when you said Kannapolis, I was like, that would be my buddy Scott, and he's like, yeah, Scott's collect. How did you know that? I'm like, because Scott grew up literally 3 houses down from me.
Yeah. And certainly sounds like a nice guy, but I'm not driving an hour just to play a game that
probably
I don't
not.
need. Yeah. But I do think the game is fascinating. And just to give a brief 3-minute overview to put it in Magic terms, it's fairly simple in that there's only 4 different card types. And to put it in Magic terms, there's summons, which are instants. Straight up, they're instants. There's forwards, which are creatures that can attack. And they work much like creatures in Magic. They have summoning sickness. They even have a keyword called haste. Hey, look at that. And then they have monsters, which are actually very new. They only just came out in the 4th set, which was just released. And they kind of sit on the sideline unless they can be activated for various things. And finally, what I think is really interesting about this game is the mana system. It's called Crystal Points, but the last card type is called a backup, and it's basically a land, right? Well, think of it this way. In this game, there are no basic lands. So you don't have just a straight, oh, I want to play a lightning deck. So, lightning basic land. There are backups that can produce that element, but all of them are unique characters. And then there are some standard characters like Dragoon and Bard and all that. But you can still only have 3 copies of any card in your deck, which makes the mana system really interesting because you can't just rely on having this very basic thing. And all of them have fairly unique abilities. There are some very, very vanilla ones, but it makes the deck building process kind of interesting. Also, the way that you play most things, imagine if lands in Magic cost mana to play. Well, first of all, you wouldn't be able to play Magic without, what's the green thing you can pitch? The Orcish, no, not the Elvish Spirit Guide, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So the thing with the cards in Final Fantasy is at any time you can discard a card from your hand to produce 2 mana of the type that are in that mana's cost. So that's how you get your backups to the field, is you throw stuff away to get that. But even later in the game, you're still going to do that fairly frequently to get to some of the more expensive spells and creatures. So I think it's really interesting. So I want to try it at some point. I could go into more detail, but I don't want to. I don't care to at this time, especially not having actually tried it out yet. But it intrigues me, and I like games that are familiar but bring something different to the table. So if anyone out there is listening and has had some experience with this game, send us an email. Let us know what you think. And as I might have said before, I do think the game is interesting. It's unfortunate that most of the art they use is pre-existing character art, so it's not as enthralling as it could be. But again, if you're mostly playing the game for the mechanics, I don't think that should be a problem. That's about what I had. Questions, concerns, comments, or whatever.
So
Okay,
I'm
Mike's
meeting,
turn.
I'm meeting you at the theater at like 12?
Yeah, meet me at the theater at about 12
Okay.
so that we have a chance to get popcorn and all that. Chewie's going with me to see The Last Jedi tomorrow, so we do not have to, plug our ears and go, la, 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 while spoilers are going on.
Yeah.
It'd be nice, honestly. Yay, I'm looking forward to it, yo.
Yay. Me too.
I will Saturday.
Woohoo!
Quick, spoil it for Chewie.
Mike.
I mean, Mike. I mean, Dirk. I mean,
I don't know when I'm going to see it. Maybe after Christmas.
that
Heresy.
would kill me. That would kill me. I appreciate what you're saying. You've got stuff to do, but every day I would be like, can I go today?
So, Mike,
Yes.
go.
Okay. I did an unstable draft this past weekend. I was in Hillsborough for family stuff, and I also happened to visit with Gabe on Saturday, and we ended up going to the toy factory and joining a draft. And it was very fun. Like before John sat us down in our pods, he said, I just want to say to you guys, when I look around and see who all is here for this, I'm really not surprised. And we all laughed at that.
Oh, that's great.
But yeah, it was great. The the ask someone outside the game to do something cards were all pretty entertaining. And it was cool for people to be, hey, come here, help me with this for a second. And Gabe was running around the room casting Gimme 5 for 13 in multiple games. And I had 2 Skull Saucers in my deck, and they were amazing. I would slap them down, destroy a creature, and then crouch down at the edge of the table and put my chin on the edge and then just start playing from there. It was pretty awkward, but if you're committed to the joke, it has no drawback at all.
Like most comedy.
Yeah, like most comedy. And it was just a really fun day. Contraptions are really powerful if you can accumulate multiples of them. They make a huge difference on the game. Just being able to get free effects every turn or once every other turn or so. But yeah, it was great. I'm glad I did it.
Sweet.
Cool. Did you draft any team play cards like grabbing somebody else and adding them to your game or anything like that?
No, and I only saw one person playing with it in the room,
Okay.
and it took them a while to figure out how it actually worked. But yeah, and I think the first time they cast it, it didn't do anything for them because they were casting it like at the end of the game, like on the turn where they were like, right before where they were about to lose, which means it doesn't actually do anything.
Whoops.
Yeah, since it doesn't affect the board state in any meaningful way. It's much better early in the game when, you know, your team is drawing 2 cards a turn compared to your opponent's 1. Then it can start to make an impact. But yeah, I only saw one person with one of those.
Okay.
Neat.
Mm-hmm. And I got to play the countdown is at 1, and I won the sub game, and then I did not deal any damage to my opponent before I lost.
Oh,
Really? It was that was one of the times when I took 5 off of my own spy because I drew the countdown is at 1 from my opponent's deck. And I was in such a bad position that I was like, you know what? I'm just going to cast this and then see if it can actually help me. But I won the sub game, and no, it did not actually help me because I was still in such a bad position that I was not even able to deal a single point of damage to my opponent before he was able to win over the next, 3 or 4 turns.
Dang it, man.
I know. 2 skull saucers. Fantastic.
What is that? It's like kill a thing?
Kill a thing, and it's a 4/1 with flying, which is insane.
Yeah. As long as your head's on the table. Right.
Yep, as long as your head's on the table.
So you put your chin on the table.
Yeah, I got up off the
that.
bench because John has those tables with like the built-in benches.
Right.
I just got up off the bench and kneeled down and put my chin on the table and was playing from there.
Huh. That did not occur to me.
Yeah.
Nicely done, sir.
Thank you.
All right then. So
and people like, and then people were looking at me, because I played the card the first, once I got to 6 mana in the first game, people were looking over at me. It's like, what is he doing? I'm like, winning? Duh.
What does it look like I'm doing?
Yeah.
Wow. So I don't have any. I didn't watch the Unstable pre-release because I was actually streaming at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently, Mark Rosewater is killer with the slaying mantis. That's the one that you have to throw from a distance.
Yeah.
Of at least 3 feet. Apparently, he is just kick ass with that thing. From what people in my chat were telling me.
I saw a ton of failures with that card at the shop. Just like missing the table completely even.
Whoops. Anyway, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Rosewater had been practicing,
Yeah.
What does he say in Groundhog Day? 2 hours a day for 6 months, you'll get it. Anyway, so is that for you then, Mike?
Yes.
All right. Well, for me, I will keep it nice and simple. There's a lot of bad news going on in the world out there, you guys. I know there is. The two of the people that I talk to on a daily basis are Bill and Clues, who are well versed in all the bad news that is going on, and they feel the need to share it with me. I don't know if it's because they don't like me or if it's because they do like me. But don't let it get you down. Don't give in to despair and everything's horrible and we're all gonna die. Look, to be perfectly honest, I didn't think we'd make it to Christmas this year as a country, and yet, despite my original assessment, here we are, ramping up for Christmas. We're gonna be fine. Maybe not now, but we will be, because that's what we do.
We're getting there.
We're getting there, and just focus on the good things. There are good things. I'm kind of distracted. I was fidgeting with a twist tie, and it just went flying across the room. So now I'm distracted and can't think of a good thing. Whoops. That was a bad time to lose my train of thought.
Good job.
Like, there's good in the world. I don't know what it is, but it's out there. I assume. But
I heard about it on TV,
Yeah. At least we still have the Onion, But, Just don't let all of the news of what's going on in the world get you down. Just find the good things and focus on them. Just do me that. I've seen a lot of people just, I can't handle all of it. Like friends of mine are like, I can't handle all this. Everything sucks. Not everything sucks. Just the bad stuff gets all the press.
If it bleeds, it leads, etc., etc.
Exactly. So, I mean, if you need to, just come hang out with us, listen to us. We will try to always be upbeat and counteract Dirk's doom and gloom final thought with other nonsense, like putting your skull on the table and winning. In more personal news, I am really digging the dungeon runs that came with Kobolds and Catacombs in Hearthstone.
Oh, yeah.
There were people watching me stream last night who didn't know what dungeon runs are. So, hey, if you've ever played Hearthstone before, or ever had any interest in it, it's a good time to jump in, because dungeon runs are completely free.
Yep.
And everything that you could ever want is given to you.
It doesn't matter at all what your collection is like.
Yeah, your collection, the amount of gold you have, none of that matters. Can you read cards? You'll get it figured out then.
Let's see. I think you need to have done enough tutorial type practice to unlock all the classes. But beyond that, I think you just get whatever.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
But the point is, now the flip side of that is you don't get anything. Like these don't count towards your daily quests or towards your wins with a certain class or anything, which I think
there is a daily quest. There is a daily quest that counts. Dungeon run,
like win 5 dungeon run bosses or something.
Yeah,
yeah. I really think it should count towards your 3 wins for 10 gold, because that literally doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, like it's the trade-off for it being completely free is you don't get anything for it, but it's so much fun. Like anytime that I have streamed Hearthstone since the set came out, it's been dungeon run because it's amazing. And so, yeah, I highly recommend it. I finally beat my first dungeon run last night, and I actually had so much fun with it that I went to my stream, downloaded my entire stream, and cut that out, and it will be going up on YouTube by the time anyone's hearing this, probably, unless you're listening to this the very night that I put it up for early access, because it's rendered and ready to go.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, well, all I had to do was edit the bits where I was not paying attention. So yeah, it's so much fun. Like it's a boss rush of 8 bosses, and there are so many different bosses. I'm still finding bosses that I've never encountered, and apparently there are still even more that I have not encountered yet.
Yeah, I was talking with my brother on Sunday, and we were talking about that, and he said, "Oh, I can't stand the Beholder." I'm like, "The Beholder? I haven't seen that yet." And then, like, the next day, like, she was always at the end, and I'm like, "Oh my god, this is horrible."
Yeah, that's the one I beat. Spoilers.
Oh wow, cool.
Yeah, did you know that when she calls out something at the end of the turn, that's the one she got?
I did not know that.
We figured that out live on stream. I'm like, wait a minute. Was that a hint? Turns out it is. So that'll help you next time, Mike.
Huh.
But, yeah. Anyway, that's been a lot of fun, so I highly recommend it. And if not, just come hang out sometime when I'm streaming it, because when I stream it, I tend to stream lots of them, like, for a long time. Like, my first day back, after vacation, I did the pack opening thing and card review thing, which took, like, I don't know, 3.5 hours or so. I took a break for 40 minutes to eat food, and then I streamed for another 7 hours. So my first day back, I streamed for like 10 hours. You know, because why not dive in head first? But it's because the dungeon runs are so much fun until you get to the final boss, and then it's miserable. But I'm slowly learning their tricks. Very slowly. But anyway, yeah, so that YouTube video is going up. I really need to do more Cuphead, more Typing of the Dead, random nonsense like that, because it's fun. Yeah. Something else? Tavern Brawl. I gotta do this week's Tavern Brawl, yeah, okay. But I have to do every week's Tavern Brawl, so that's not really news. But anyway, so you can find all of this stuff. I stream on twitch.tv/themanapool. The YouTube videos are on youtube.com/themanapool. Yay! The podcast is on themanapool.com. Imagine that. And you can find us on Twitter at themanapool and facebook.com/themanapool and Instagram themanapool. Like branding is a thing. And I'm apparently good at it.
So you're not bad at this game?
That's a game that I am, at the very least, moderately okay at. Unlike, Overwatch, let's say. I've been streaming Overwatch because the new holiday event started, and let's see, it was me and Cap and Haley and Bill and Steph. No, that's too many. Me and Cap and Haley and Bill and Steph. Yeah, there were 5 of us. Yeah, okay, there we go. Played some of that, where it's the Yeti hunt, where you're a team of 5 Mays. If you know Overwatch, you know who May is, going up against the Yeti, who is Winston with the Yeti skin. And it's a lot of fun. And if you get a good Winston, you will lose immediately. And if you get a not good Winston, you will win immediately. It's when you're both sort of all right at it that it gets fun. There were some games where all of a sudden we're like, and we're all dead. What the hell just happened? And the other games were like, wow. There was one game, so you get XP, you get experience in Overwatch based on length of the match. Mm-hmm. We got 83 experience because the guy wasn't using the jump. He, like the Winston, we just got frozen and we shot him in the head with icicles until he died. And it was that fast. The XP counted up and it's like 83. And we were like, huh. But even so, it was a lot of fun. It's not the sort of mode that we're going to play a lot, but it's still a lot of fun. And all the new skins and whatnot are awesome, of course. It turns out Killing Floor 2 also has a holiday event going on where all of the zombie things have been replaced with horrible Christmas-themed zombie things. And they are actively terrifying. And so we played some of that last night before I decided, when everyone else was like, I have to work tomorrow, because, you know, they all have jobs where you have to be up at like 3 a.m. for some god-awful reason. So after we played Killing Floor 2, that's when I started streaming Hearthstone, because I wasn't done streaming yet. But Killing Floor 2 is a lot of fun, because you have to go up against Krampus. Killing Floor 2, by the way, is like a wave-based shooter, where you have a team of people with different classes, and there are just hordes of zombies coming at you, and in between each wave, you collect money as you kill things, and in between each wave, you go find a trader and upgrade your weapons and whatnot, you know, refill your armor and your ammo and buy grenades and stuff like that. And it is also addictingly fun, which we've been streaming it a lot lately, too, so there you go. All kinds of nonsense going on over on the Twitch channel. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up now. So a big thanks goes out to Megan and Casey for letting me come visit last week, because goodness knows I needed the recharge. I don't remember if I said this on the air or off, but I think it was at the beginning of the show. I realized how much I missed doing my work when I wasn't doing it. And it was different. It's not the, I'm not getting stuff done, I should really be getting stuff done. It was the, I really miss editing videos. So it was nice to have that realization, because I haven't stopped doing this for more than a couple days on purpose since I started doing it. So having that time away was amazing. And so yeah. And they fed me well, and we had a lot of fun. I watched Get Out. Have you seen Get Out?
No.
Get Out was
I've heard about it.
Get Out was really good. And I got to watch them play Mario Odyssey, because I don't have a Switch. And I'm not going to give Nintendo any money. So I got to watch them play it. And it was amazing. Like, I see why people keep harping about how great it is. Because it's awesome. But anyway. Oh, and Noah remembered me. Which warmed my heart. I hadn't seen the girls in, I don't know, at least like 3 or 4 or 5 years. I have no concept of the passage of time. But it was since immediately before I got the horrible soul-crushing job that started the dark times. So whenever that was. And Noah is their dog, and he was all, and I said, Noah! And there was a, and he did the head cock to the side thing, because he does that both ways. So I'm doing it as if there's a camera on me, and I held out my hand, And he came up and sniffed my hand, and next thing I know, he's laying on his back, like, I can't, like, gyrating on the floor. And Casey goes, huh, well, that's a new one. I was like, what? She's like, I think that means he remembers you. I'm like, oh, he's a good boy. And then their new dog that I hadn't met also really likes me, because apparently he doesn't like people. Noah loves everybody immediately, but Trigger doesn't. And Trigger not only let me pet him, but let me pet him, like, on the face and head. And apparently that's not a thing he does to just anybody. So I was like, yay! The aminals love me. And I got trapped under a cat. If you were watching Twitter, you saw that I was trapped under a cat for several days. Send help. But anyway. Can you tell I had a good time? I had a good time. It was great. Yeah. And then I got to, drive 12 hours to come home, and I had some paranoia before I left because I was afraid. I've heard enough stories about people's places getting broken into while they're gone that I looked around the apartment the morning before I'm supposed to leave on a 12-hour drive to go see them, and I'm like, I don't really care if any of this gets stolen, except for my computer because of all the data. And I couldn't come up with a way, like, I didn't want to take it with me because the odds were greater that I would, have a car accident than if they were that someone would break in, but it wouldn't leave me alone. So I actually called Brian and was like, hey, buddy.
Hey.
Could you babysit my computer for me? And Brian was like, yeah, thank you. It's like, we're leaving in like an hour. I'm like, I'm walking out the door in 4 minutes. I'll be right there.
Yeah. Sam didn't know it at the time, but we were going to Disney on Ice. So I was like, ooh, right now. So
yeah, Brian kept my computer safe for me. So thank you, sir. And
you're welcome.
I was like, this might be really stupid, but if I get back home and my apartment's been broken into, I'm going to feel like a genius. Mm. It wasn't, so I'm not a genius. And I'm okay with that.
That's fine. We just, used it as a coaster for a while.
That would explain why it wasn't running properly for the first 3 days, but
I think that's probably the cat hair.
Well, no, I opened it up and blew it out.
Okay.
It was because of a Windows update. Thanks, Windows, you bunch of jerks. Anyway. With that, I will finally shut up. So thanks to everyone.
For real this time?
For real this time. Thanks to everyone who wished me well on my vacation and said that it was much needed and all of that. You're very sweet. I refuse to agree with you, but I still appreciate it. And yeah, all of the usual things apply, which I've given all of that. So the only other thing left is if you want to help support what I do with all of the streaming and YouTubing and podcasting, then you can go to patreon.com/themanapool and sign up there for a small monthly donation, as it were. You can get, if you so choose, early stuff, the the Manapool episodes and YouTube videos early. You can get the early stuff and the odds and ends, all the stuff recorded before and after both Monday Night Magic and the Manapool that's uncensored and unfiltered, and it's just us being us. Like the last one that went up was the discussion that Bill and Clues and I had before the Monday Night Magic, where we talked about the harassment and bullying thing. Mm-hmm. And it got pretty intense because we had, let's say, some differing opinions on how to handle that episode. But lots of people on, well, at least a couple people, which is more than ever comment on the odds and ends, actually tweeted about it and said, if you're not on the odds and ends tier, you're missing out. And I was like, wow, thank you. Because it was painful for me to listen back to. But hey, if it is enjoyable or informative or at least entertaining, then by all means. But you can get the odds and ends and the early stuff. And if you so choose, get your name on all of the videos that go up at the end, or at the end of each video that goes up in each month that you supported that tier. And also, I will read your name off on both of the podcasts. So to that end, I would like to thank I say no particular order, but it's the order that Patreon gives them to me, which I don't understand what this order is. Kim Ho, Andrew Hunt, Al, Paul David, Lance Delicious, Team U, Hellas Haryu, John Morris, Stuart Slaw, PJ McMullen, Bosco Bertain, Casey. Oh, she let me come stay with them for a week. Nathan Hay, AJ Javieres, Cody Buckawing, Jacob Jansons, Jason Kaus, Gothic Man, that's Patrick. I lost my place. Brian DeLucci, Stark Maximum, Dan Holm, Mike Miller-Burned, and the Beast Father, Aaron Goodwine. Thank you all so much for your generosity. And also thanks to all the patrons who stuck with me through the recent Patreon, I can't say that word on this show, cluster mess. Clusterfest, yeah, where they recently backpedaled and said, okay, we get it, we screwed up, sorry, we are not going to enact all the changes that we announced, we didn't think it all the way through, our bad. But amazingly, and I'm going to chalk it up to all of my patrons being awesome, I did not lose a single patron during that time. And that announcement was made while I was on vacation, and I was like, I read what they sent to us, and I went, oh, okay, that seems cool. And then it was brought up again while I was driving home that there were some downsides, and I was terrified that Patreon had screwed up so bad that I was going to lose a large chunk of my income like so many other creators did. Like, terrified, because things have been not miserable here lately monetarily. Like, I'm still broke, but I'm not like worried broke. I'm just, can't go out and do that broke. There's a difference.
Yeah.
And, yeah, nobody left. So thank you all so much, for your loyalty and generosity and any other reasons for it. That really, really worried me. Because, vote with your dollar. And if you don't like what Patreon's doing, the obvious thing to do is to pull out. But then you're punishing us creators as well. And I was really afraid that would be a problem. So thank you. But anyway, I'm shutting up for real this time. So this has been, I forgot this episode number already. Episode 489 of the Mana Pool. There should be one more episode this year, and then we will break for the holidays for at least 1 week, possibly 2. We'll have to figure that out amongst ourselves. So in case something happens that we don't record next week, everyone have a glorious holiday season and a happy new year. Hopefully we will record next week, and I can say this again. So thank you all so very much for listening, and also that. Brian has been sick for like 6 months. It's sad. Go play some Magic too while you're at it.